memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams Classy Climb Vlog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. What's up, everybody? This is part 2 of a long, very long Friday. As you can see here, drop your city and state in the chat. This is October 25th event, Houston Inner Circle, little premiere day, and then also the Land Flipping Biz. And I guess I forgot to put the ELAB catalog there. But anyway, you can see that in the comments. It's always going to be pinned and put in the comments after the video renders. You see the title. You know we about to be messy. You don't need to be a thug, a former NFL player, or popular to run a business. Somewhere along the lines, we have got Delulu that it's thugs, it's unscrupulous people who are business owners, it's terrible people who are business owners. And I didn't want this to be a whole I'm gonna beat up on the turkey leg cut couple the whole video. So I put on the cover Mr. Stephen McPhee, Big B. And this is important for y'all to understand. Just like Todd Chrisley, there are a lot of white people doing white collar crime. And you're like, oh, well, that's not as bad. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay. And so I really want you to understand this kind of mantra that you have to be a thug or unscrupulous to do things is ridiculous. Now I'm going to show a happy video real quick, and then I'm going to go into the rest of the show. This is a young man who is a trucker, black man, married his high school sweetheart. They bought a house. You know how big Texas is in the country. And he has a truck. And people are like, he must have daddy's money. And that seems to be the answer to everybody who just does basic common sense math as an adult and can buy a home with no money down because it's UADA loan and live in the country. And for whatever reason, we are letting people make the narrative. If it's a black person who's doing well, it's because they're scamming. If it's a person running a business, it must be some type of scam. I told y'all this many times when I had my coffee shop here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I was running a film festival at the coffee shop across from Fayetteville State University. People were like, oh, she must got money from her parents. It completely ignoring all the Asian kids out here who were running actual business where their parents gave them money. I was running a business off of inheritance, right? What I was given after my parent and my grandmother died. And so there's this built-in negative connotations. And I have to speak to certain family members about this because they'll be like, yeah, you don't want to do business with certain type of black people. And I'm like, if you actually listen to the Latinos and the Mexicans, if you actually listen to the Vietnamese people, they will tell you they don't even want to do business with their own people because their own people be scamming. And so this kind of overarching tone that black people in business are sketchy, I'm sick of it. It's really getting old. And it's really a lot of piss poor 35-year-olds who are acting like they're 20 years old still. They made bad financial decisions. So instead of just acknowledging I made bad financial decisions, they shit on everybody else who has made good ones. That is what it is. And we have to come clear. And yes, welcome. It's a happy Friday for me. I just left seeing my aunt and uncle's house. It was terrible. Put some cat food out for the cat. We don't know what's going to happen with that. So let me just show you right here.
I put a shop in the back there with some 4 acres. Guys, let me tell you, man, you better manifest it. You better speak it in existence. Put it in your prayer. Put it to work inside of it. And man, listen, you can't fail, baby. You can't fail. But look at this, baby. Look at this. You got a last name on the mat, baby. In fact, if you think I'm lying, I'm going to walk up to the car right now and I'm going to ask my baby. I'm going to ask, hey, baby, what was the first conversation we had? Listen now, first point of view. And baby, what was the first conversation I had with you? What was the first conversation I had?
You told me, you asked me what my goals were.
And
then you said that you wanted grandkids.
And with the grandkids, what I wanted at?
Much land.
Much land, and what else?
And a farmhouse.
And a big shop in the back, right?
Yep, and a big shop that we're going to get.
Told her all that. Like I said, speaking of existence, baby, I love all y'all. One more look at the house, man. Put a lot of work on the landscape. Got some 2 trees right here. We got some plants, and this ain't the end, baby. Stay tuned for the rest. A lot of you guys don't know, when I first met my wife in high school, my first conversation with her was, I'm going to buy us a house, and we're going to have a lot of land and a big shop in the back to raise our kids and our kids' kids. And guys, let me tell you. I'm a little dirty right now. We're working. Look what we got, baby.
Okay.
A big old farmhouse.
All right. I'm just going to show you his page real quick. And if you see the older black people saying, be humble. He's 21. They're young. They grew up in the putting, some stuff on the gram. And this is just financial decisions. This is just but what you have to understand in the black community and in the Latino community too. I'm not gonna just go bash on us, but they are overemphasizing our young people. Now, what do I mean? They are making our kids into infants. They are making them from 15 to 25. They're chasing sports, getting on, being a personal trainer, trying to, get on some team, trying to make some rap album. No, can't play a musical instrument to save their life, but they got a rapper. They can sing, be singing off key, but they can sing. There's this overemphasis from 15 to 25 years old in our community of the goofy stuff. So when this young man's 21 and all he had to do was drive a truck from 18 to now and show his pay stubs and get qualified for a house, they're like, well, you're bragging. You need to be humble, young man. For what? For who? Because your lazy son that's 35 ain't got it together? Because your son that's in his 40s ain't got it together? So he needs to be humble? He only needs to be humble to the Lord. And I'm tired of it. I'm so absolutely tired of this rhetoric of like, black culture's terrible. Now, he is country day in the country somewhere. It's all good. Country folks get married younger. It's all good. And people in the you should see the men in the comments. Well, I'm 35 and I got divorced, so you better be careful. Don't be bragging because she might divorce you. And go where? And be with who? It gets real stupid. It gets real stupid out here. And so you just got a bunch of sad men in the comments being sad. It's just crazy. It's real crazy. I've just never, the amount of salty that is in the comments, they got a dog, they got all kind of stuff, could literally salt a pot roast as much as salty as they are in the comments. This is a average country boy living. I can point you about 10 black people I know that are my age that they got married in high school. They out in the country still and got a bunch of kids and that's what they do. Bonfires, cookouts. This is not some weird thing that you've never heard of. Okay. It's real crazy out here. Okay. And so I just want to start the show on that note that, it's real weird. Folks are being real weird. Okay. So anyway, you get in. Why is this weird? Yeah, this is how the internet is. This is them in high school. I'm glad he let them dreadlocks go, but that's another conversation for another day. All right. So anyway, let me get out of here before I offend some more people. He said a few years ago I was a hater too. I'm glad you got it together, baby. I'm glad you got it. More salt than the damn sea. And this is just 2-3 steps in a financial decision. A lot of y'all been working at jobs more than 2-3 years. They hate because they lack motion. Listen, and they can't explain why they ain't got no motion. They can't even explain it. Okay. Now this is, I thought was a funny, I'm gonna put this in here just as an extra. This is, if you live in Austin, Texas, but I'm gonna just play it again. Let me see if I can get it going here. Here you go. Whoops, sorry, my bad.
Hotels every weekend, almost every day of the week. So you just put on any lanyard and walk into any hotel with confidence and just find the floor with the buffet, like the sandwiches. I sat in on a brain surgery clinic today, a room full of neurosurgeons. There's a million of these conferences. You just have to walk in and pick your buffet. Let's go with Diet Pepsi. Looks good. Thank you. You see, you come with the lanyard, they hold the door for you. They go, Prosciutto's this way, pal. Buffet's on the 5th floor. Gift bags are on the 6th. There we go. I got a fresh frugal forte for you. So in Austin, there's always like these tech conferences, all of these hotels every weekend, almost every day of the week. So you just put on any lanyard and walk into any hotel with confidence.
Let me tell you, this is absolutely 100% true. Now, people in the comments are like, it's because you're white. And I want to say, y'all, no, because 9 times out of 10, y'all don't go to no conferences. So y'all going to be sitting there looking crazy like, oh, you just got to walk in there with the lantern on and not even have, I mean, I remember one time we went to one conference and this guy looked me and my significant other up and down for about 2 minutes. And then looked at our badges. It was so weird. People are weirdos out here, but he's telling the truth. It's an absolute truth. You can pretty much, you can pretty much go anywhere and eat in the buffets, or walk around and act like, oh, I meant to go to the other hallway. My bad. I meant to go to the other hallway. Now I want to play a couple of these before I get to the McBee, but let me go here. This one's next. Y'all know Mr. Pretentious. You can find him on YouTube, but mostly he does
up for manual labor. If you think about the type of jobs that you can be borderline illiterate, have no critical thinking skills, and not ever have to talk to anybody, those are going to be manual jobs. The types of jobs that Gen Z is asking for are jobs where people hold your hand, they show you exactly what to do, they give you step-by-step instructions, they show you a couple of times, and you don't have to socialize. People don't care what you look like, they don't care how you show up, they just want you to do the job. That is called manual labor. High-paying jobs require critical thinking skills and socialization. You have to be able to talk to people. You have to be able to read, because reading is related to critical thinking, problem solving. Nobody can hold your hand and show you how to do the job because you have to use your brain. As more and more Gen Zers fall into the manual labor pipeline, guess what? There's less Gen Zers going into the knowledge economy, which means they can ask for even more money because they know, well, you can't get anybody else who reads and writes. There's only like 10 of us. You have to cut off this anti-intellectual type content and stop surrounding yourself with bubbles that reinforce those beliefs. It's really cute and quirky now when you're in your parents' house, but it's not going to be cute when you're 45 years old and you're making $20 an hour trying to support a family. If you want a real future with real money, you have to prioritize using your brain. Gen Z is being set up for manual labor.
Okay. Excuse me, y'all. It's cold as crap outside. Let me get this. Let me close this. Okay. What I was gonna say was what people he said, you know what? We lived in Austin 12 years ago, and how I fed for the first 6 months when I was living there, no lie. Anthony, I'm not even mad at you. Honey, they got conferences every weekend. Austin lost $1 billion during the pandemic because people canceled conference. And Austin was like, no, please come back immediately, expeditiously. They make money. Trust me. They make so much money. Airbnb made so much money in Austin that they had to call a truce. The city was like, damn. We're going to call a truce. We'll come back in 5 years because they knew the math. Like eventually, Airbnb going to kind of fizzle out, or, we're a popular city, but it can't be that strong. And it is. So, the problem is people, we talked about the Gen Z stare that they just be staring off in the space. Like as you're talking to them, like their brain isn't working. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. So if you're a young person who can think, can put something together, can organize, can pitch, can communicate. And again, the reason I keep saying it's very dangerous for our community at 15 to 25 years old to completely focus on sports, music, goofy stuff, being entertainment, and not being managers. Because by the time you're 25 to 35, which I'm seeing a lot of African-American people be like, oh, I got to get it together. I'm in my 30s now, my kids, yada, yada. You're playing catch up. And then if you're at a job and you're 35, and usually 25-year-olds are there, new, young, and fresh, asking questions. It's like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Here you are, 35, asking the same questions. Them offices is tired of y'all. I'm just gonna tell you, like you too old. You too old to be getting entry level. But it happens. Sometimes people lose jobs, people switch careers. I hear all that. But I just want y'all to understand, the reason people hate so much on that young man I showed is because they're literally vegging out for 10 years, and then they wake up and go, oh my God, I need to make money. I'm in my 30s now, Erica. What should I do? And I'd be like, what you been doing? Right? You can turn it all around in 2-3 years, but you have to realize you're going up against people who you're talking. I'm being careful. There are people who I see online. They had their struggle years from 23 to 27. So now you see them at 32 to 37 and they're traveling. They're in Europe. They're doing whatever. Their husband's picking up an extra boat, a RV. You know, you're thinking people are going into debt up their eyeballs, but really they just started 10 years before you did. So we have a lot of our community who are wasting 10 years of their young adult life, 15 to 25, thinking it's the best time ever. Let's lollygag and goof off. And then they wake up and go, how is everybody affording a house? You know, this is how you make people become anarchists, you know, want to do communism because they wasted most of their adulthood. So now by the time they do the math that they're 35 and they're going to spend the next 20 years really working hard and putting money away to save so they can retire. I mean, there's people I'm meeting who are 55 just figuring that out today. Like, Erica, when am I going to be able to retire? I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. You're going to rise to the level of your personal development, which leads us to, unfortunately, we're going to do the McBee story. I have too many windows open. Hold on. No, let me go do these two first. Then we do McBee. Yeah, let me open up these two first. Then McBee. This one right here. And then
turned they work in and shit. All the shit that the cool people thought was lame as hell. Oh, you going to class? That shit, no. You going to, I'm finna skip and all that. Them motherfuckers probably living good. Good as hell. And this people still out here off some high school thing. Think they supposed to get something out of life. Like, boy, you ain't, boy. You don't sit down, take your ass and fry that chicken. That's about it. I'm glad I called it a little bit. Like, I was one of them trying to borderline cool dummies, trying to follow the crowd, trying to do that, knowing I got good parents at home, trying to do. See what I'm saying? All them bad motherfuckers. If you was a badass in school, you were cool as hell. You had all that. It ain't too many of them motherfuckers that transferred over in the grown-up life. If your ass still out here on high school fame, give it up. Give it up. Next generation up, man. Take your ass to work and fry them tater tots. Hey, all them people that was trying to be cool in high school ain't cool now. They ass at work. All them people that went to class, that did what they was supposed to do, showed up on time, turned their work in and shit. All the shit that the cool people thought was lame as hell. Oh, you going to class? That shit, no. You going to, I'm finna skip and all that. Them motherfuckers probably living good. Good as hell. And this people still out here off some high school thing. Think they supposed to get something out of life. Like, boy, you ain't, boy. You don't sit down, take your ass and fry that chicken. That's about it. I'm glad I called it a little bit. Like, I was one of them trying to borderline cool dummies, trying to follow the crowd, trying to do that, knowing I got good parents at home, trying to do. See what I'm saying? All them bad motherfuckers. If you was a badass in school, you were cool as hell. You had all.
I'm sorry. I just play it because it's funny. And I thought he was comical. Now, I try not to give y'all too much cussing. I apologize. But I'm going to just go ahead and play one more. People have been cussing a lot on social media, supposedly because they're stopped getting penalized. I work for a government agency and was talking to a representative for the state retirement plan. He was so surprised that I was there, interested about where I stand. He said, most do what I'm doing in their 50s. Darkman Jeff, I'm telling you, that's why when they're like, oh, financial advisors are going to go the way of the dodo, I'm like, yes, but no, because there's so many people who are like, whoo, 50 something today. Let me wake up and figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know what to tell you.
Fucking high, drunk, and motherfucking complacent. Okay? You are okay with not seeing any motherfucking grocery stores in the area because it's gonna keep you high. They're gonna keep you drunk. They keep the spirits going. However, you cannot go and get motherfucking cabbage from your corner store. You can't go get no bananas for motherfucking Aldi, because it ain't no fucking Aldi in some of these communities. There is no fucking Walmart. And I know we're not doing fucking Target right now, but there's no Targets in the city of Detroit at all. I remember when Detroit used to have motherfucking Farmer Jack. That don't exist no more, bitch. And it's a fucking shame. You only can get dispensaries. That's all the fuck that's popping up. These high ass a la carte restaurants that's not edifying the community at all. Half the people who run these businesses do not fucking live in the community. They come to our communities and keep us drunk, keep us high, and motherfucking complacent. And let's just talk about the fact how it's
all right. I didn't know she was gonna cuss that much, but this is Brandy, the millennial manager. She gives a lot of HR tips. And people don't always listen, but they should, right? And she does cuss. She does cuss. But if you go here every time, she has a different type of microphone. I'm just I just want you to understand, she just talks about how to never come out of your character at work, but a lot of stuff like when you sick, don't go in there, all kind of stuff, man. Y'all can go watch her if you want to laugh. She cusses a lot though. Let me see. Do I have the other one? Yeah, this one is the next one that I'm gonna do. McBee. Don't get mad at me today. It just is what it is. And the guy at the bottom is a goof. He's a goof. But anyway,
part of this system, as any white person gentrifying in this city. And you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I've lived in this neighborhood long enough to know when 2 out of every 5 yards had a garden in the back. I'm old enough to know when the Muslim community was the strongest security force and their own food force in this community. Black people, I love you, and I love you enough to tell you, you ain't ready to revolt shit. You don't feed yourself. You don't hunt your own animals and slaughter them. You don't prepare your own meat. You don't own your own land. You don't have a seed growing in your window. So when you think about revolutionaryism and you think about fighting and dying in the street, you ain't shit if you can't feed your children. You ain't ready to oppose nothing.
Now, Killer Mike be throwing it at you, but it's the truth. This is why when people talk about food deserts, you look crazy. Y'all look crazy to me. Whenever somebody talk about food deserts, I'm not laughing at them, but I'm like, why? When you in Mississippi, in some of the richest soil in the whole United States, with the acre yard, talking about the grocery store is an hour away, what you supposed to be doing then? You're supposed to go in your backyard and dig and make a garden. And somebody can say, Erica, people work all day at night. They don't have time to make a garden. That's a lie. They got enough time to go through whole series on Netflix. You can go in your backyard and turn on the water spigot for 10 minutes and turn it right back off. You can have potted plants at your apartment right this moment. You can have a lemon tree. Some of these lemon trees so small, you can have them anywhere. You are not ready. If you cannot go in your backyard and feed your children, what if the road was destroyed? Some of them people in them North Carolina mountains is still hanging up there because they have their own food. They done canned for years. They don't care. Right? Why was the Great Depression so tough in the cities? Because some people didn't have access to food. Farmers had to keep telling people, keep it moving, move along. But black families who were not in the stock market, not in banks because of racism, they didn't, suffer as bad. When you had the Roaring 20s, Black people were part of the Roaring 20s because we were keeping a lot of our money in cash. We were doing basic math and accounting. We had chickens in our yards. We had a lot of food access because guess what? You couldn't go to certain stores. You could only buy beans from the Asians in Mississippi. You could only go to some place. This is why Sears made so much money back in the day, because they sent out the catalog and they like, we're going to ship it to your house either way. The racist white man at the store that don't want to sell it to you ain't going to stop our money. And Sears kept it a buck. They're going to get that money. Okay. So again, when people start here talking tough, how they're going to do this and that, I'm like, you're not doing none of that. You can't even figure out how to have a garden in your backyard. Like, that's complicated. Y'all making it too difficult. I'm going to play this and then I'm going to play McBee. There we go.
That became active through the actual lawsuits that they were receiving monies from. But I want us to get away from that, because the government is never going to be our friend, and I want us to become more self-sufficient, which meaning buying processing plants, opening up markets, start selling direct in our communities, all the things that we were doing before integration. Mm-hmm. We were already doing all. We had our own stores, and these are things that we have to get back to if you want to become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And my daddy said this, and I hate to quote him, but this last time I'm quoting him tonight.
Nice. Okay, you got some good quote.
He said, to actually pass on generational wealth, you got to be in the mindset to do it. You got to be in the mindset to pass on generational wealth. You got to be able to pick that heir to the throne. You know, this is going to be it. And you may have 9 kids, and you may leave them some other assets. You may leave them the equipment and the money. But the farm over here, I'm gonna leave this over here to Junior, because I really sincerely believe that Junior's that damn bull agree with me. Now, what white people do better than us, and I hate to admit it, is they garner the land more so than we do. They know the value of the land more so than our people.
I already know somebody gonna come here and be like, but you were gonna talk about scamming and thugs, Erica. We are. I'm gonna educate you a little bit, you know. just trying to make sure you stay awake. Stay woke. Now this is the last one that I'm gonna show McB, because the other day one of y'all were like, Erica, you know, the pricing for how housing elderly people is not that much where I live. I'm gonna just show you this another one, because people don't believe, you know, stuff stinks. So here we go. This is a young lady who invested in mobile homes, but she does have some single family houses, and what she's doing is rent out the rooms for $1,700. Now you're gonna say that's great.
Shared home
Here you go.
is covering food, 3 meals a day, utilities. So this room is giving them everything that they need. Also, this person is having someone that's in the home that's dedicated to assist them. The majority of these elderly people don't qualify to stay in an assisted living home. Most of the elderly and felons that I'm able to assist with housing are private pay and paying with Social Security. I want you to go to Google and type in your state needs allowance. That is the amount of money that you must leave an individual with. In the state of North Carolina, I have to leave them with $70. Just FYI. And now for those of you who are like, oh no, this still seems wrong, it doesn't make sense, do me a favor. I want you to call 3 assisted living facilities in your area. Say, how much is it for a room? I'm curious if anybody will come back and report that is less than $3,000. Facilities, these nursing homes in the state of North Carolina typically start around $6,000. So drop below how much yours is, and then you'll see that I'm definitely providing affordable housing. And did I mention that I started renting these rooms out inside of my mobile home? I have 2 homes that way. I'm working on a 4th home now. If y'all interested in multiple ways to invest in mobile homes, I'm having a live webinar next Thursday. Comment webinar below, and I'll be glad to get you the link. See you there. Hey y'all, so let's talk about it. Somebody asked a really good question. $1,725 seems high for a room to be charging someone who's renting a room. Well, I want y'all to think about it like this. $1,725 that I'm charging is one person to rent a room out in my shared home is covering food, 3 meals a day, utilities. So this room is giving them everything that they need. Also, this person is having someone that's in the home that's dedicated to assist them. The majority of these elderly people don't qualify to stay in an assisted living home. Most of the elderly and felons that I'm able to assist with housing are private pay and paying with Social Security. I want you to go to Google and type in.
All right. I just wanted to share that with y'all, because I know y'all keep saying, Erica, I don't know. I'm just letting it be very clear with y'all. A lot of these elderly people do not have $6,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month in retirement. They don't have it. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of Black women, I keep telling y'all, doing these creative housing situations where there's 3, and I'm going to go there. You're not going to like it. It's always a lot of older men coming out of prison. Older men, nobody can take care of them. They had a stroke, they fell down, whatever. They can't stay by themselves. We have a family member who got blind. He's blind, and he is getting older now, and there's no one to take care of him. And so he did what? He left New York and came down here because he knew I can get some help. Maybe y'all can help me. And we found a place for him and all this other stuff. But y'all have to understand, it's very hard financially on just the, let's say they did well and put a lot of money away and they had $2,000 a month coming in Social Security. The law says she only got to leave them with $20, $70 a month. That's why her price is $1,725. The government said you only got to leave them $70. So they got $70 for 30 days, y'all. If you need medication, whoo, I don't know what you're going to do. I really don't. Because now she's got you in a room. You got your bed in there. You got your clothes. There's somebody coming in, cooking food, making food for the house. It's a lot of lazy people out here, and y'all be like, Erica, that's just your perspective, your mindset. No, baby. There are schools right now who don't have enough kids to even put together a band to go to the football games. And they ask the schools, what do you need? They're like, we don't even have parents enforcing the kids to study the music, play the music, practice. We don't have any kids to replace kids to play. Like, you're always gonna find some black kids that want to play football, want to play basketball. We don't even have enough kids to actually play musical instruments. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here before I get frustrated. Let me play this for y'all. We can go with the farm theft first. Now, that black farmer that was talking earlier, I'm kind of worried about him because he done lost 30 pounds. And I know he's older, but I don't know if he's sick or he's just, lost a lot of weight. It's unfortunate. It really is. So let me play a little bit of this. Ooh, and again, I'm gonna tell you the reason I don't like this guy is when I first saw his show, he has 4 sons, and he was telling them how they all need to go chase women and chase girls because he was divorced, and if I look like y'all, I would do that. If I was y'all age, I'd go chase women, and he sounded very bitter. And people in the comments were like, dude, that's real bitter. Like he would, poo-poo on the guys having girlfriends. And so when y'all talk about these single moms that's why the sons ain't married and growing up. These single dads, y'all. He's a narcissist, like on the 10th level degree. If you're a farmer and you doing illegal stuff, you cannot be out here stunting. But he is. So let me play it for you. Let me play it for you. Because he's dumb.
The outspoken patriarch of the McBee family dynasty is now facing one of the toughest chapters of his life. Known for running the McBee Farm and Cattle Co. in rural Missouri with his sons, Steve Sr. quickly became a central figure when the reality series launched on Peacock in March 2024. But behind the family drama and cowboy charm was a legal battle that has now taken center stage. In November 2024, Steve McBee pled guilty to a multi-million-dollar federal crop insurance fraud scheme. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, he admitted to falsely reporting crop production numbers from 2018 to 2020 in order to receive federal insurance payouts he wasn't eligible for. The numbers are staggering. Steve admitted to underreporting more than 674,000 bushels of corn and 155,000 bushels of soybeans. As a result, he received more than $3.1 million in fraudulent payments, including over $2.6 million in direct benefits and over $550,000 in premium subsidies. The fraud wasn't just a minor slip-up. It spanned several years and involved deliberately falsifying documents sent to Rain and Hail, a crop insurance provider that works under the federal system. The DOJ called it a serious offense that caused significant financial loss to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, Steve is awaiting sentencing, and it could be life-changing. He faces up to 30 years in federal prison with no possibility of parole. His sentence will be determined following a presentence investigation by the United States Probation Office. With this looming over him, Steve McBee will not return for the McBee Family Dynasty Season 2. According to Screen Rant, the rest of the family will carry on without him, and that means major changes. With Steve out of the picture, a new family power struggle is heating up. Stephen Jr., the eldest son, believes he's the
Who
obvious
looks just
choice
like him.
to take over the business. But Cole McBee, who's always seen himself as the hardest worker, has other ideas. As their father's future remains uncertain, the brothers are now faced with a difficult question: who will lead the McBee legacy? Steve's legal troubles have shifted the...
All right. I don't feel sorry for Steve. Don't feel sorry for Steve. Steve's a jerk. Steve's a jerk.
He has fallen. Steve McBee Sr., leader of the McBee dynasty, Real American Cowboys, has just received a title as rich with betrayal, family intrigue, and a dynasty that teeters on the brink. Today, we're diving into the downfall of one of reality TV's most talked about farming families. How did Steve McBee go from front and center on camera to pleading guilty in federal court? And what does this all mean for him?
All right. Listen, this is what I want to go with this. The older brother does stand on morals. Very opposite of his dad. It does. And this is the thing. Y'all have to understand, when they're sitting here talking about fraud and welfare, and shame on these black people, they welfare queen. Baby, ain't nobody a bigger welfare queen than farmers. Now, there's several clips I could play y'all from farmers, and that'll be another show I'm coming up doing this weekend, I guess, on black farmers, because I have like 15 clips. The thing of it is look at the crops they pick to grow, right? The crops, if you see all these people picking soybeans, because soybean, I'm not going to say it's easy. I'm not going to disrespect farmers that way, but it's almost like turn the water on kind of grow crop. Spray pesticides, turn the water on a grow. The Black and Latino farmers, which if I can find it, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for the farm video. But long story short, Black and Latino farmers grow a myriad of vegetables, a diverse kind of group of vegetables. They actually pay workers to come on the farms and really take care of the crops. And so a lot of the Black and Latino farmers are looking at the white farmers in Arkansas like, what are y'all talking about? They've been telling us for years to do this, do that, sell to customers, do all this stuff. And you have to know, this is a terrible time to be scamming as a farmer. To sit here with $4 million, all your sons have the latest trucks, the latest crap. You're going on constant trips. This is why you meet a lot of these farmers who are second, third generation losing the farm, because they're going on more vacations than figuring out how ways to diversify the business. And what they haven't told y'all is a lot of those farmers receiving $12,000 checks. That's why I let Man of Tomorrow video I posted up and shared it with y'all. A lot of them farmers, a lot of them, right, have been milking the system and waiting on certain checks. And instead of 15 years ago, 10 years ago, when they're sitting there telling you, okay, y'all need to start using how to use websites, shipping, direct to consumer, all this stuff has been taught to people for years. Ask me how my family knows. Okay. Diversify, split the farm in half, sell something on one side of the farm, sell something on the other side of the farm. They've done a million different topics. And they have too many community colleges in the middle of nowhere teaching sustainability for free. Do not feel sorry for Mr. Steve. Now I'm going to show you what his son looked like. And literally, I mean, it's like this. I don't know if his mama was even there. I think his daddy just coughed and he was born. But he basically, I mean, this boy looks like his daddy. I mean, his name is Steve, and of course, he's the junior. But again, flying helicopters, planes. Yes, they have a massive farm, but they had to know them numbers didn't make sense. Them numbers never made sense for them to have this much wealth. This is where when people talk about, oh, they must inherit it from their daddy. No, baby, they was scamming. They was lying to the government. I just want you to understand. All right? They in Missouri. Come on, man. Knock it off. It ain't that much money in Missouri, that part. So again, when the sons start getting married to women, Dad, we want wives. That's the brother. Boy, I'd be pissed if I was a brother. I'd be like, where's my jawline at? My mama must have gave me the weak genes. What happened to my jawline? You just have to realize, like, you know, the reason Yellowstone was so gritty, and this guy tried to act like you know, we're fighting for our family's farm, and he was acting like he was Yellowstone. Okay, now they own several companies, so let's not get it twisted. But instead of, you know, you know, again, Daddy was tripping every show, every chance he could. Again, look at him. Looking like
Dynasty come about? Like, did somebody just roll up on your farm from Bravo and be like, here he is?
The dating show that I was on, Joe Millionaire, we had the top 6 women fly out to the farm for the hometown visit. And when production got up there and saw my family dynamics, it's a small world in reality TV. I'm sure you know this. So word started getting around. Yellowstone was the top TV show at the time. And it was like, hey, this family farm out in Missouri resembles Yellowstone, and they've got a hell of a lot more drama.
Do you feel like it's pretty accurate when you're watching back? Or are you like, oh, wow, that's a lot more dramatic than I thought?
No, it's pretty spot on.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are always asking me and seeing some of the scenes, and they're like, that had to be staged, that had to be set up. I'm like, no, that was authentic. That was as real as it gets.
So how did McBee Dynasty come about? Like, did somebody just roll up on your farm from Bravo and be like, here he is?
The dating show that I was on.
All right, so you see there. Now this the daughter right here. This the daughter-in-law that's got the little brown on her, okay? You know what I mean? You can look it up for yourself. The daughter, you know, look like a black person, but she not, you know, but it's there. He's right there. Okay, you know what I mean? It's like you can looky and see. Okay, so these are the sons and the dad. Again, the dad's twin in the back. So again, lots of drama. Like the daddy's petty. You get it. Y'all see her. Y'all see her. She's right at the edge there, Negro looking. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of there. Yeah, it's paper out in the Mozarts. I mean, I'm just saying, but sometime, listen, TC, getting that Russian money. He had a lot of questionable people he hanging around. Very questionable. You know what I'm saying? So let me, you can go look at that and see how the daddy was acting yourself. But let me zoom in. Can I zoom in on sis? Look at her. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna stop that.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you a couple photos. So we had 2 people that were on the no-fly list.
Okay.
I'd be very mad if I was a brother and I ain't got no jawline. I ain't got no.
Through our generosity.
What's happening to me?
Hey y'all, we've got some.
So anyway, let me get here. So they're gonna just these TV shows gonna keep it moving. They're gonna put him in place, even though he like to be on TV shows and act like he dating. Ridiculous. This is the daddy's page, of course. Bravo. I don't know if you understand when you go on these TV shows. Once you get on these TV shows, they control a lot of your stuff. Look at that. Ain't that cute? Our Kids in the Outdoors, KITO. Such a fun event. They brought 20 to 40 kids who are children of homicide victims up from Kansas City to see the farm for a day. Will you help these poor little Negro children who are victims of homicide? Help them. I'm just, God bless him. Yes, Lord. Yes. Okay. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. Kansas City, you know what you're doing. Y'all know what y'all doing there. All right. So I put that up there for you. I mean, that's what the government should do. If you're a government worker and you scared you're gonna lose your job after the pandemic, should be like, sir, put me on the Bravo. Put me on the Bravo. I can do it. I'll watch all the I'll watch all the cases. I'll watch all the TV. I'll do it. American greed people be tired of y'all too. So, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what this looks like. I'm gonna back up out of that for y'all. Erica, that's inappropriate. It is. Just look at their farm, y'all. And Bravo don't pay like that. I want you to understand, the first year you do Bravo, it's really for the exposure. They give you like $30,000 per person. It's the years after, if you keep the show running, they give you some big money. And then they pull it back a little bit, because then you start making other stuff. You see, USA Network, McBee's Meats, McBee's Wash, Protein Snacks, McBee's Farms. You start doing other stuff. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this up here, and this is, I love this. I refuse to believe selling turkey legs requires this much crime and violence. Oh shit. I just oh, listen, y'all. Apparently, this is my argument about this. Everybody who out here doing not good business. At first, you was feeling bad for the turkey lady because her husband was hitting her upside the head, and then he lighting buildings on fire. He hanging out with the thuggity thugs, right? So this lady says, "This is Houston. We just want a piece of turkey. Take all that chaos back to New Jack City." Once they started dipping the turkey leg in Hennessy, I knew dark days were to come. Not just turkey legs, but stuffed turkey legs. Why couldn't they just sell their little food and go lay down? I don't understand, y'all. I don't understand. It's real ridiculous. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me pull this up. Because the turkey leg, the wife now is doing too much. Both of them doing too much. But let's go ahead and get in here.
Everything about
these dogs. So come on down to the Sherry D. Coleman Animal Shelter from 4 to 8 p.m. for our Holo Woof event. Please wear a costume. Costumes are
Look at
encouraged
him.
for people
Look at
and
it.
pets, and just make sure your pet is leashed at all times.
Want to find out more about Sunday's event? We've got a link for you on our website. Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
All right, there is still time to win a beautiful home from St. Drew. This is a dream home. I'm actually going to get to visit it on Tuesday.
Okay, you're taking too long. I don't like that. I want to get out of that one. Let me go to the next one. Trying to sell stuff. I just need you to play the video. Thank you. Good gracious.
It's the buzzing.
Here we go with this bush. Here we go.
Laser engraving.
They got to get you some ads on there.
Custom clothing engraving. Top-notch quality custom clothing, drinkware, and accessories.
Just play the daggone
Restaurant in
video.
Houston's Third Ward that has lines out the door every weekend.
But new at 5 o'clock, neighbors of the Turkey Leg Hut are suing the restaurant, calling it a public health risk.
Channel 2's Taisha Walker joining us live with the neighbors who say this is much more than just traffic and big crowds. Taisha?
Right, Bill. Yeah, we spoke with a couple of neighbors who say ever since the Turkey Leg Hut moved into their neighborhood, they've experienced nothing but issues. First, they say with parking. Now they say with smoke.
As their business grew, the more obnoxious the odor became.
Patricia Bird is one of 6 residents named in a lawsuit against popular Houston restaurant, the Turkey Leg Hut. Bird has lived off Alameda for decades and says her quality of life changed when the restaurant opened a year ago. She has asthma and says thick smoke traveling from the restaurant causes her to wheeze.
It has taken a toll on me.
Bird, her attorney, and several other residents filed a temporary restraining order against Turkey Leg Hut owners Nakia and Lindell Price, citing public health and safety issues.
All the outdoor cooking activities at the Turkey Leg Hut are illegal. They're unpermitted, they're unregulated, and they're outside of basic code requirements.
Attorney Chris Feldman says his clients aren't asking for money. They just want the business to stop using wood to smoke their meats outdoors in an unenclosed area.
These folks are getting smoke blown directly into their face day and night.
Feldman says numerous complaints to the city and health department have resulted in no changes. But as of today, a temporary injunction bans the Turkey Leg Hut from using its smoke.
All right, now y'all may have heard this. This was the start. This was the beginning of the end. This was the beginning of the end. It started to go downhill from here. Boy, they gonna wear me out with the commercials. Hold on a second.
Morning, the co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, Nakia Holmes, is set to appear in court. She's accused of allegedly hiding a man who was wanted for kidnapping. Records show Holmes and Jonathan Saizone share a home in Cyprus. Deputies say they pulled Holmes over for a traffic stop during which she denied knowing where Saizone was. Meanwhile, deputies caught Saizone as he was running out the back door of their home. Saizone is now charged with aggravated kidnapping and assault. Holmes is charged with helping a wanted felon avoid arrest. She is out on a $10,000 bond. Now, from arson accusations to foreclosure to neighbors suing the restaurant, the legal controversies surrounding the Turkey Leg Hut date back nearly a decade. Take a closer look at the timeline right now on our website at clicktohouston.com.
I mean, they making these daggone people to be out to Bonnie and Clyde. So Bonnie and Clyde of violence. Just, and I want to say this: if my ex-husband is currently locked up for setting places on fire, allegedly, for beating up people, allegedly, assaulting people, allegedly, beat me up, allegedly, I had to close the bar. The owners, the people who own the land, decided not to renew our lease. I'm not hanging out with no felon. If that means I got to go live in Katy to be away from y'all, I'm not going to be near none of y'all, because you know they watching. Okay. So first, the Turkey Leg owner, Lynn Price, was charged with allegedly setting a bar on fire. Now his ex-wife faces her own felony charges. You let some bum Negro who was running from the law in your house. So what happened? You know, when they started telling people, you know, cover up your body, Stop being naked here at the Turkey Hut. It was all downhill from there. You know, the people don't like being told to put clothes on. I don't know why, but you know, it's because the way y'all was raised. So let me show y'all her page. Just, you know, I just want you to understand that it's you're the top 5 people you hang out with, you're gonna be like them or not. Let's just go that way. Now let me just show you. This is her. Now imagine I'm a professional businesswoman, I'm a mother, I'm a survivor. For media requests, hit me up here. And then I scroll down your page. The first 3, no problem. No problem. What is you doing? Why is these thirst pictures up? Why is these what is this? What is this hoodness? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is ma'am? You're not a famous person. Stop it. Cut it out. Knock it off. Every picture. Y'all, if I ask you what's her business, it's just every picture is the. I mean, it's like, ma'am, what's your business? Every picture. What's up? So anyway, I just want y'all to see that, okay? And this is somebody who, you know, again, look at all the pictures. Again, a lot of y'all don't want to be business owners. Y'all want to be famous. That's okay. Just tell us that's what's up. A lot of y'all don't want to be business people. Y'all want to be famous. And if we knew that dealing with you, then we would, you know, come on. The elders went into a prayer circle to get them out. I mean, it's just girl crazy. Basic home training. Attention is a hell of a drug. It's a hell of a drug. What type of people did she want? Man, I hate to say it. You know, when I go on Houston women's pages, this is how I be looking. Let's see how it looks. It looks like this. No, you can't open hookah bars in Houston. You know why? Because the Arabs own them. The Armenians own all the hookah bars. Y'all love lining up for those couple of places in Houston, and it don't be nothing but Armenians owning that stuff. Armenians owning that stuff. And when I say something to people like, you're a hater. Well, baby, I'm just trying to figure out why the Armenians owning everything. That's all. I'm just trying to. Can somebody tell me? What's going on? Now, this is her husband. Again, you are the 5 people you hang out with. Again, would I think this? I'm sorry. Ooh, now look, look at the famous people I'm hanging out with. Look how cool this is. Look how cool I am. You know, okay, he got some food on his actual page. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't need you in podcast. I don't need you speaking. You want to show me hanging out with rappers. You want to show me how tall you are. You want to show me with all the latest and greatest basketball players. What does this got to do with the food? I just want to let y'all know you don't have to be a thug, a pimp, a popular person to run a business. You know, again, and if you saw my earlier show, great. If you didn't, it's all good. I want y'all to understand, if you don't go get yourself with the Chamber of Commerce, go get yourself with local people, then you end up like the turkey leg people, where there was no help. There were no community people like, no, keep them there. Let them fight for the business, yada, yada, yada. There was none. You know why? Because they weren't connected. They were too busy trying to be connected with Slim Thug and the rappers. Trying to hang out with who's cool, then do smart stuff, which is simple. It's simple, y'all. I'm gonna show you the video. Here the video. Let me put this up so you can see. Erica, you're a hater. You're just talking hate. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just trying to show y'all. Let me put this here. Erica's a hater on Black business owners. Like, no, I'm not. I'm really not. Y'all just have made it really hard out here.
Turkey Leg Hut has been ordered to stay behind bars pending trial. Lynn Price is facing a 3-count indictment connected to the explosion at bar 5015. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has been following this case. He's live now in our newsroom with the brand new development. Bryce.
Yeah, Andy, a federal judge has ruled that Lynn Price has to stay in custody pending trial because there are no conditions or combination of conditions that the judge says will reasonably assure the safety of the community. He's accused of orchestrating the arson at bar 5015. The judge wrote as an apparent act of revenge. Surveillance video showed the crew Price allegedly paid $1,400 to douse the patio in gasoline and start the fire in June of 2020. An FBI agent testified last week that Price wanted to be co-owner of 5015, but the owner didn't want him involved, and Price wasn't happy when he found out 5015 was selling crawfish using the Turkey Leg Hut's same supplier. That explosion destroyed the building, and Price has now been charged with arson. The judge said by clear and convincing evidence, Price is dangerous, and these alleged crimes happened while he was on supervised release after serving federal prison time for income tax fraud. The judge found the weight of the evidence against Price is strong and that he has a history of violence or using weapons. We also learned in court last week that Price allegedly coordinated the sale of marijuana out of the once popular restaurant on Alameda. We have reached out to Price's defense attorney this afternoon for a response. We're waiting to hear back, and we'll update that at click2houston.com. But if convicted, Price faces up to 25 years in prison. And
Brother, did y'all hear what he just said? Did y'all hear what this man just said? This man is
explosion
right here.
destroyed the building, and Price has now been charged with arson. The judge said by clear and convincing evidence, Price is dangerous, and these alleged crimes happened while he was on supervised release after serving federal prison time for income tax fraud. The judge found the weight of the evidence against Price is strong and that he has a history of violence or using weapons. We also learned in court last week that Price allegedly coordinated the sale of marijuana out of the once popular restaurant on Alameda. We have
Come on, man. Come on. This is what I'm talking about. It don't matter how much money we throw at you. You're going to do dumb stuff. You're going to do because you're the 5 people you hang around with. Now, I can sit there and blame it on CTE, be like, man, I got hit in the head a bunch. That's what it is. It's a CTE. But I want you to understand what's happening. Okay? You're on probation for tax fraud and other things. Now you over here selling drugs out the Turkey Hood. You out here burning up people's businesses. What they didn't say is you out here, it's too much, y'all. It's too much. It's too much. The judge, like, I can't even release you because you're doing too much. You're doing you're not doing one thing. You're doing all the things. The drugs, the crime, the fire, the arson. Sorry. Try not to laugh. You're doing too much. And I just wanted to say this show. Y'all, it's a million people out here doing business, legit business. Hold on. It got me earlier. Sorry. Doing legit business out here. You don't have to live like this. This is too much. This is too much attention. For sure. I mean, he may have to, that might be his defense though. You in all the videos. You're doing too much. We can't even defend you, brother, right now. You're doing too much. Okay. Then your wife, you hitting your wife. She getting knocked upside the head. I mean, sir, you're doing all the items. You just do a few items. You don't do all the items, y'all. This is why I can't even, Erica, you're hating on black people. I'm not. He's doing too much. He's doing too many items of things. You know, we do 1 or 2 things, but not all the things, y'all. Not all. That's just too much. Okay. I think it's too many items. People think they're in a movie. Why else would somebody come to a camera on crime? Honey, it only paid them $1,400. Sir, you caused like $500,000 in damage with that fire. And you gave somebody $1,400? They was gonna snitch on you. Y'all weren't even trying to be suspicious. I'm telling you. And this is why. And so you don't need to be popular to be a business owner. Even the ones that have many degrees are out here saying, like, come on, you got a brain and a body and still scamming. It's a waste. It's a waste. Because trust me, when I talk about the FBI and the CIA and people, they got 20, 30 people watching y'all. They're gonna get y'all. It's a Lifetime movie. Shit, it's all the movies. It's for a supplier. You're mad because they wouldn't let you buy into a business, strong arm them into selling part of their business. It's crazy, y'all. I tried to get out there. I did. I got out there and I actually enjoyed it. I ain't even gonna front of y'all. I actually enjoyed the food. I had a salad that had shrimp and turkey and chicken in it. I said, this is too much. Y'all trying to kill people with the salad. So I just want you to understand, like, there's levels to it, right? Levels to it. What is this? I don't even know. Sorry, my nose is about to go crazy. She does like she'd be a man with like that. I mean, yeah, bottle girl and club promoter. Very stupid. Just dumb. I never got why people like real hookah lounges in DC 10 years ago was a vibe. You know, stuff that's on the coast takes a minute to get other places. Man, I gotta get off here, y'all. I'm going down. But yeah, that's pick a struggle. Unorganized crime, very unorganized. You're like, what are y'all doing? This is crazy. It's too many items. Too many items. So, anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica, Classic Comic. And I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna be coughing. But yeah, you know, again, you don't have to be famous or popular to start a business. It's a lot of simple, common sense stuff. People don't want to hear that though. And this is your girl Erica. I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna laugh so much. Anyways, you guys, I'll see you next Friday in Houston. We will not be at Turkey Leg because it's not available anymore. But we will have some good food to eat somewhere, some taco, Tex-Mex. And be safe out there, y'all. Stay away from crime.
You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance. And guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who can do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done. And that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. It's Erica Williams.